You want to hear the truth about money? Nobody in the world knows how to make it. Me neither. I don't know how to make money. Anybody who dares to sell you a how to make more money tape, book, seminar, or whatever is lying. Is just lying. I don't want to offend you, but if you are telling me that you know how to make money, or that you at least know how you did make your money, you're lying too. I'm sorry, but you're lying to yourself. You don't know it either. The IRS wouldn't be so anxiously after you and me if the government would know how to make money. There wouldn't be any collection agency around if people and companies would know how to make money. If a functional how-to money would be a part of, you can be sure, you can be absolutely sure that the whole credit system wouldn't exist. I admit that the money you get or the money you spend is somehow related to work. I admit that money is related to services and to products. But you cannot be sure if the money you make comes because of your work or in spite of it. Maybe you keep money away by working. The most hardworking people do not live in an abundance. And so many people I know who have a lot of money don't work hard at all. Yes, they may work a lot, but for sure they don't do what they don't like. So many of them do exactly what they enjoy, and it's really, really hard to call that work. $5 an hour may be made by work. But do you think $50 million a year can be made by hard work? How hard do you think somebody has to work for $50 million a year who works hard for $5 already? I will not talk to you about work here. I will not use and I will not abuse this tape, and I will not abuse your time to try to motivate you to work harder or to work more. Motivation is only good for people who don't do what they like to do. Motivation is only good for people who are doing the wrong job anyway. I'm talking to you here because I consider you a sophisticated and intelligent person who is through, who is just done with all the delusions and the mysteries about money. If you wanted to work more, you would just work more, but you would not listen to my tape. You know that harder work gets you to a harder limit. But you want to go beyond those limits. You want to know what comes after that. You want to know what comes after that money that can be made by work. But work can do for you. You want to know what you can do for yourself, and you want to know what you can get and not what you could lure out of other people's pockets with your work. I am Egbert Sukop. I have made millionaires. I have made millions for people who didn't have a dime when they first met me. I have made millions for people who are millionaires already when we first met, and I have made millions myself. I do have a funny German accent. Yes, that is so, and you will have to put up with that. I repeat, I don't know. I don't have a clue how to make money, but I do know exactly what I'm doing here. And I invite you and I encourage you to bear with me and to relax and to enjoy the ride. I can do a lot for you. This tape can be worth millions, millions of dollars for you and for people you know. And I will not take any responsibility for what you do with what you hear. I will not give you any guarantee to make a certain amount of money in a certain time from now. And I will not take the responsibility for you screwing up all the money, all the assets you have with whatever you do after you hear my tape. So, let's get to it. Money is not a machine, like a fax machine. And you could write a manual about it, and that would give anybody access to get to it. Money is in other people's wallets. Money is in other people's bank accounts. And the only way to this money is through other people. You have to get to other people in order to get to the money you don't have. That makes money as complex as human beings are, as all human beings are together. The money that you don't have today is under the control of other people. And since you will never control other people, you will never be in control of money you don't have. And you and I know that we can't even control our own money. We can't even control ourselves. We can't even control the money we have in our wallet. The good part is that money you don't have, and money you do have, cannot control you either. Because other people cannot control you. You know that. So, what we have to face here is our own psychology, and we have to face other people. We have to face ourselves and other people. Well, that's why this tape may sound quite chaotic to you. But there is a method behind my chaotic train of thought. I will not offer you a certain solution B for a problem A. I will just throw you into the chaos. But sometimes you have been there, or you are there anyway in the chaos of your money situation, aren't you? Sometimes money seems to be about numbers, and it's easy to calculate with those numbers. But actually, money and order don't have anything to do with each other. I'm convinced if you could control money, you would control your money, and you would not listen to my tape. If I disturb you here, and I will disturb you more, I promise, you can be sure, you can be absolutely certain that the tape does the work it's supposed to do. You will have a great value after listening to this tape. I will disturb rituals you do, rituals you live, rituals in the way you make money, rituals in the way you spend it, rituals in the way you see money, in the way you use it, in the way you deal with other people concerning money. I don't think that there are poor people in the world, and I don't think that there are rich people either. There are people who live the ritual of being poor over and over again. And there are people who are stuck in the rich people ritual. Do you think rich people are free? I don't believe in the existence of situations. Those are rather rituals. Sometimes we think we are so unique in what we experience here, in a bad money situation, for example, but we don't realize thousands of people, millions of people have experienced that same thing. Millions of people may experience that currently at the same time while we do. And a situation is not an it. It is not something, and we are the victim of this something. A situation is a moving process, and we are a part of that. We are an active part of that at all times. Even if we don't do anything, we are an active part in the process of something what we call situation. Not having money, for example, is not a state of being. Not having money is extremely active. It is not having money now, not having money now, not having money now. We act the not having money act. And in any given moment, we can change that. You don't have to change yourself, and I'm not about to change you. I invite you to discover your freedom to do whatever you want to do, now and at all times. You don't have to work on your blocks. I don't believe in blocks. I know you don't have any. I'm not going to educate you, and you don't have to train yourself. You don't have to use or to waste time in order to change yourself. Oh, all these schemes, all this how-to crap, all this changing from poverty consciousness into prosperity consciousness, it is so clumsy. It is absolutely clumsy and dumb. And I don't believe that it has worked for anybody. Positive thinking is a scam. Don't think that it has made money for somebody. I know so many people who are so positive, and they've lost millions. Why they got more and more positive? They're so positive about not having any money anymore. If you made more money while you started to think more and more positive, maybe you got the money in spite of your positive thinking. If you don't make any money, it's you who doesn't make money. If you make more money now than you have ever made, it's you who makes more money. It's not a theory. It is not a certain technique. It is not anything but you who makes that money. So, now I want something from you. I want you to get clear on what you want. What is it what you want? I'm not interested in hearing what you want to have. Everyone has a list of that. I want to know what is it what you want to do. What you really, really want to do. Without any doubt. What is it what you want to do? What you will never stop doing. Nobody can stop you doing this. Nothing and nobody can ever stop you doing what you want to do. Not even your own fear can stop you. Not even your own fear can hold you back to start doing what you really want to do. What is that? What do you want to do? Do you want to know something? People who don't have what they want to have don't do what they want to do. It's as simple as that. So many people complain that they don't have what they want because somehow some kind of a higher power seems to keep them separate from their dreams. How ridiculous. I think all these people lie. In this moment, you have the choice. Choose what you want to do, and in this moment, your freedom is over. And the second after you chose what you really want to do, you must do what you want to do. If you don't do now what you wanted to do, you're just locked into the prison. I call it the prison of the addiction to freedom. But you don't have a real freedom. You need to. You must do know what you chose to do. It is this action, rooted in your own freedom, that will let you have whatever you want to have. But it is this action in a consistency. You cannot stop. Don't ever stop doing what you really want to do. You don't have enough money to do what you want to do? Poor thing. If I had so and so much money, then I could really do what I want to do. If money is responsible today that you can't do what you want to do, how should that change with the sum of money you make? Do you think there's a certain sum of money, some kind of a magical number, like 6 zeros or so, that would change anything in your life? That would put you in control of money and put money out of the control of you? If money controls you now, or rather the money you don't have, I mean, it's funny anyway. Something that doesn't exist controls you. That's really funny. But let's say money controls you now. Do you think money would let go of that control by getting bigger? By getting more mighty? Do you think $1 million go off the control of you? They wouldn't control you anymore, but your nickels and dimes control you now? That would be really, really ridiculous. No, my dear, money doesn't control you. Money has never controlled you and never will. You can believe in that, and your life will look according to that, but money doesn't control you. Money can't control people. Money hasn't made people. People have made money. It's simply like that. Money is made by people. People were first. A couple of million years even. People were first. And people have made money. And people make money. And you are the one who makes money. Money has never been in control of people. So if you are waiting that money will give you control over itself, you will wait forever, but nothing will change in the way money is with you. Money isn't with you anyway, but it will never change in the way you are with money, or you will experience money. If you experience fear today, it will be more fear with more money. If you are sacrificing your life today for a couple of bucks, if you compromise your life away for some dollars, winning the lottery jackpot will not save you from that pattern. It's you who has to change that. another aspect of compromising. There's no sum in the world that will ever compensate your pain, that will ever compensate you for being frustrated doing what you don't want to do. And I can assure you, if you keep doing what you don't want to do, you will never, ever make that kind of money you think you have to make in order to be as free as you want to be. People with a lot of money are not free because they have a lot of money. People have a lot of money because they started as free human beings and they started doing what they wanted to do. That's what made them the money as a side effect of their freedom to choose what they wanted to do, and of their freedom to stick to what they once decided to do. I invite you to admit now that money cannot control you, and that you have the money in your hands, the money you own now, but that you will never control money you don't have yet either. I beg you to realize that you can do absolutely exactly that what you love to do, what you want to do, no matter whether you have money in your pockets, on your accounts or not. Money you don't have cannot stop you from anything. Please find out fast, better now, that you are calling the shots. And you will find out fast what you want to do. You will know fast what you want to do. You will start doing it, and the money will follow. And as long as you follow the old theory that you can't do what you want to do because of the money you don't have, you're just trying to get rid of responsibility. You're just an irresponsible person. I'm sorry. But you will not have what you really want to have as long as you think money is the bad guy, or the money you don't have is the bad thing in your life. That's what keeps you doing what you don't want to do, and that doesn't let you do what you really want to do. Just quit it. I told you people invented money. It's true. And human life does not depend on money. There's still millions, billions of people who don't have money, may not have any money through their whole life, who don't have fax machines and cellular phones. Human beings don't need money to live. They don't need money to survive. And your life doesn't depend on money. No person in the world needs money. I don't want to convince you of anything. I just make a couple of suggestions, and you can do with that whatever you want to. I'm not saying that you should live without money. I'm just saying you don't need it. People who really got in situations of survival can tell you that they never saw money as something very important in those situations. Money is useless in survival situations. Contrary to what a couple of politicians and newspapers say, we are not living in times of survival. We are not living in an economy or in a society of survival. You may agree or not, but I know that you are not in a survival, and money is even more useless for you. That's the interesting part about money. See the uselessness of money, and the fun begins. Now you can have really fun with money. Make yourself constantly aware that neither you nor anybody else needs money. And you can start playing with money. You can start to do what you want, and you take the pain, you take the compromise, and you take harmfulness out of any dealing with money. Make yourself aware that people don't give you money because you need the money, and make yourself aware that it doesn't hurt that person who gives you money when this person gives you money. Make yourself aware that it doesn't hurt you to give money to somebody. And make yourself aware that you never give money to anybody because this person needs that money. You exchange money with other people because you and that other person want to, not because anybody needs to, and not because it causes any pain for one or for two of these individuals. You cannot do any harm to a person by giving money to that person, and you cannot do any harm to a person by receiving money from a person. If you keep seeing money as something harmful, I am very sure you will never have a lot of money. You would be too scared of it. As long as you see money as something that can harm somebody, that can hurt somebody, I'm sure you don't want it. You would be way too scared to have a certain amount of money that you think you can control. Guns are usually more dangerous for the people who own these guns than for the people around those people. And if you see money as something that can hurt a person, you can be sure that you think to own a lot of money is dangerous for you in the first place. And even if you would see money as something dangerous for other people around you, you can be sure that you don't want to hurt other people. So you don't want to have anything to do with money. Well, you can forget everything I just said, because money is just not harmful. Money is just ink on paper. And the only thing that can be harmful is what you do with it, or what you don't do with it. So, once and for all, money is harmless. And it's harmless for you, and it's harmless for you to deal with money however you want to deal with money. By the way, it's also harmless, totally harmless, to give money to a teenager. You think it's not? Don't you think it would have been wonderful if you would have wasted your first $2 million when you were 15, then still having to look forward to wasting your first million with 40 or with 50? So many people who lose their first $1 million with 55 years think it was the last time that they had $1 million. And if you would have lost it with 15, 16 or 17 years, you would have been so excited not to make the same mistakes anymore, but to start all over again. You would have been so excited that you would have been a totally different person. You would have had a totally different freedom to deal with money, to make mistakes. Such a freedom to make mistakes and to enjoy every of your mistakes. And maybe you wouldn't have made any mistake. Maybe you would have doubled it year by year. So many adults like to think that teenagers would do stupid things with money because they, the adults, would do stupid things with money. Because the adults know that they would do stupid things with money, that's why they don't want to have it. I mean, yes, they tell you that they want to have it, but actually they want to invest it. They want to have it safe. And any money that's safe is so safe that the adults who say that they own the money cannot use the money either. Investment or saving of money means a lot of times, I want to have a lot of money, but I don't want to have control over that money. I want to have a lot of money, but don't give it to me into my hands. I want a lot of money, but please don't give it to me. I want to have a lot of money, but then I would put it away fast. Do you know what? I trust you with money. I know that you cannot be corrupted by money. Nobody can. Money doesn't corrupt people. Money is really just ink on paper. If you see a crook with a lot of money, I assure you that person was a crook already before he or she had a lot of money. You can just see more of what that person really is about. And if you know a wonderful person, just a wonderful, wonderful human being without money, I assure you that person will be a wonderful, wonderful human being with a lot of money too. But you will see more, and a lot more, of what that person is about. There is no money in the world that could ever corrupt you. You can be safe, you can be sure. You don't have to put your money away in order to be safe. You can have all the money in the world, and you will be the wonderful person you are already. How much money do you want? Would you have to hide it? What you do with that money? Or would you have to hide that money? Is anybody allowed to know what you're doing with your money? Tax evasion is a worldwide sport. To betray the government is a sport. So many people think that they are decent members of their society, but they betray the same society. The IRS thinks that something is not okay with you if you betray the government, and they think something is wrong with you if you obviously don't betray the government, because then they think you really hide the way you betray them. What I want to get to is that if you have to hide anything, you cannot be a free person. Just be honest. Just be honest in anything. Pay the taxes you have to pay. I mean, don't waste money on paying taxes, but just let anybody know what you do. Let anybody know what you're doing with your money. Let anybody know how much money you have. Just be a free person. Money is a result out of your freedom. It's not the other way around. So please, stay free with all that money you're going to make. Money is the result of you living that free the way you want to. Money is the result of freedom. Money is the result of a free life and nothing else. Yes, there are those people. There are those, people. There are those grey mice who think they got their money together through their stinginess or just inherited the money and then they didn't dare to spend a dime of that. But that kind of money and those people are separated from each other. These people cannot enjoy that money. So all I'm talking about here is the money that belongs to you and that you can spend as free as you live. I'm not interested in being a person living in prison and having a lot of money. Especially not living in my own prison. So you need to be free. You need to enjoy every dollar you make. You need to enjoy every dollar you spend. Well, there's no point in making any money with stinginess and no point in making any money with hardship. Money beyond any limit only makes sense if you can live beyond any limit. You need to be free to enjoy beyond any limit. So be as loud as you really want to. Be as clear as you really want to. Let everybody see you. So many people don't own a Ferrari because they're so afraid that their neighbors could see that thing. So many people don't have money because they have so much fear around other people asking them for money. Poor devils. They're not poor because they don't have a Ferrari or because they don't have the money they want. They're just poor because they can't do what they want to do. They don't have an idea anyway what the neighbors really would think and how the neighbors would react. Actually, those people abuse the neighbors to make themselves so small, so tiny, and to think about themselves as so tiny. Here's a little exercise. How do you think would your life look if you would live the way you really wanted to live? Everyone would be allowed to see what you do. Everyone, even the IRS, even your relatives and neighbors could see what you're doing. You wouldn't care about what other people think, what other people say. You wouldn't care at all about the public opinion. People could ask you for money, but you wouldn't feel guilty. You would still be free to do what you really want to do. You could give them what you wanted to give them, or you could simply say no. So, how do you want to live? How would you live if money would just be there? If you wouldn't have to think about money at all anymore? If you wouldn't have to think about how to make money, how to get it, how to spend it, how to save it, how to keep it safe? If you wouldn't have to waste any thought, and if you wouldn't have to work anything for money anymore? Where would you live? When would you get up in the morning? What would you do next? What would you do next? What would you do next? What would you do every day? What would you do? So, how would you live if you wouldn't have to waste any thought on money anymore? Oh, please, don't give me that crap that you would do nothing. Nobody can do nothing. You would quit doing nothing after 2 minutes. It would be so boring after 2 minutes that you would do something. So, please, tell yourself, what is it what you really want to do? Most people die while they're doing nothing. They're dying in bed. So doing nothing is quite a dangerous sport. Retirement is the same. Retirement kills more people than any war. Why should anybody quit working with 60 or with 65 years? It's ridiculous. The dream of doing nothing is an addiction. It's legal, it's lethal, but an addiction. I'm not telling you shouldn't enjoy the beach, shouldn't laying at the beach and go swimming or do whatever you want to do, but that is an action, that is an activity. You do something there. And there are people in the world who make their money with exactly that. If you have the dream of doing nothing, if you have the dream of retirement, if you're looking forward to anything of that, I know that you would love to do something else but what you're doing right now. And maybe You just want to do differently what you're doing right now. But I know that your dream of your paradise has to do something with doing something. You want to do something. If you could get yourself to do that right now, and to do it, on and on and on, I know that you wouldn't have any money problem anymore. Your money problems would be solved. Money cannot solve money problems. You know, sometimes you gave money to a person who had a money problem, and you found out a couple of days later the money problem is still there. It just got delayed. The money problem is maybe bigger with more money, and you know that. If you got money from somebody else, if you were asking for a loan, the loan did not solve your money problems. Money just simply doesn't solve problems. You got to solve it, or you just have to leave your problem alone. Just do something else. Do what you want, and your problems will stop. Let me repeat something. People with a lot of money didn't start to do what they wanted to do after they got the money. The people who enjoy their money are most of the time so free that they did anyway what they wanted to do, and that's why they got the money. They always did what they wanted to do. They got the money, and they did more of what they wanted to do. And they got more money. They never needed money. From the first minute on, they never needed money in order to be free. Usually, those people are very, very busy. They're not busy and working hard because they need to work hard in order to make the money, but they're so busy that they don't want to stop doing what they're doing. Most of those people even don't know why they work so much, and they see it wrong. There are a lot of people in the world with a lot of money who are after you, who would like to support you to do that, what you love to do. They would like to invest their money into you because they know that if somebody does what he really, really loves to do, if somebody does what he can't stop doing, that person is the best investment that there is. If you know that you wouldn't stop doing what you're doing, not even because of lack of money, you are the best investment there is. Investors are thankful to find a person that cannot be stopped. Nobody should invest into a nerd who has to be motivated to do what he does, who has to be motivated to do what she does. It's a bad investment to invest into people, to put money into people who do what they don't want to do, who only do what they do because they get money for it. I wouldn't invest into a person who just works because the person gets money for this work. I would rather throw the money out of the window. It's more fun. Start doing what you really want to do, and people will stand in line to give you money for that. People who do what they don't want to do, who do what they don't want to do in order to make some money, are corrupt. They will not be corrupted by the money they get. They are corrupt before they get the first dollar. They are bought with the first dollar. You cannot buy them with $1 million. You cannot buy them with $10,000. You can buy them even with $1. They're very, very cheap people. They're not corrupted by a big sum of money after they got a lot of money. They start out as corrupt people. And I can assure you, they will be still corrupt with a lot of money. As long as they don't have money, they blame somebody else for not having money. And I know once they got a lot of money, they will blame somebody else for what they did with that money. People who don't do what they want to do, people who compromise, are corrupt, whether they're rich and corrupt or they're poor and corrupt. People who don't do what they want to do are corrupt people. I've asked a lot of unemployed people what they would like to do. Most of the time they answered me, "Oh, well, I don't know. I have to see what kind of job I can get, or what kind of opportunity comes along." I know that whatever job offer will come along, they will not like that job. And I know those people who look for such a job, or people who look for the next opportunity, will never have money. Eventually, they will never get what they really want. Because they don't decide, they don't tell anybody what they want to do. Those people will just stand in line. And if they're done standing in this line, they will stand in another line. But they will never do what they really want to do. They just stand in line, waiting for a job they don't like. It's exactly like playing the lottery to wait for the job you may like. I know, you won't like your next job. Waiting for the next opportunity that will work out for you. I know, that opportunity is not there. You are the only opportunity. You are the one who could do what you really like. But you need to find out yourself. The opportunity won't. So, by the way, lotteries don't make people happy. Most people who win the jackpot in the lottery end up 2 years after they won the jackpot with less money than they had before they won the jackpot. People who are waiting for the better job end up 2 years after they got another job with less and less and less than they had before they had this job. If you're waiting for an opportunity, you're not better than waiting for a lottery jackpot. And the odds to win the lottery are worse than to be hit by lightning. People who need money won't get money. Investors don't give money to people who need money. They only give money to people who don't need it. Lenders don't give money to people who need money. They only give money to people who can show them, who can prove to them that they don't need the money, but who want the money. If you have any money, you cannot tell me that you need that money. Would you really, if you really need that money, the money would be gone. All the money you need is gone. As long as you have it in your pocket, or as long as you have it in your account, or underneath of your mattress, you don't need it. As long as you have money, this money is abundance. Money in general is abundance. Doesn't matter how much you have. So if you don't see $1 as abundance, how would you see abundance in $1 million? How? It's the same thing, just with a couple of more zeros. You need to discover abundance. Money will not do that job for you. You need to discover that your freedom starts with yourself and not with anything else. You need to do what you always wanted to do. And if you need money, and you do get $1 million, it won't take long, and you will need more money. Desperately. This tape is nothing for people who need money and who don't want to let go of this idea. People who need money in order to be free, they will not become free. They will not get that freedom, even if they get the $1 million. Why? Because I don't know any chain of stores where you could buy freedom. Do you know where you could buy a pound or a kilo of freedom for any amount of money? So, if you have a problem with your money now, with 10 times of more money, you will have, 10 times of that problem. So you better take care of your problems, otherwise money will make your problems bigger. I'm not telling you to live without money. I want to open the way for you to live with a lot more money than the money you need. If you say you need money, you will come to a limit. It is ridiculous to make $100,000 a year and more money. I really don't think that $100,000 a year is a lot of money. But I think it's ridiculous to make $100,000 a year and more and still say that you need that money. Needing of money leads you to the limit of your income. That can be a high limit, can be a low limit, but you know for sure, needing of money leads you to a limit. To quit this ridiculous thought, this ridiculous idea that anybody could ever need money, will get you beyond any limit. The end of the mystery that people get the money they need will make you able right away, today, now, while you're still listening to this tape, to go towards an unlimited income. Why do you get money? So you know now. So you don't get money, and you've never gotten money because you needed it. So why do you get money? Because you work? Because you have studied? Because you have a good education? Because you have so much experience? I don't think so. There are people who have a lot more experience, who have studied more, and they get a lot less. There are people who have no experience. They work less, they don't work at all, and they make a lot more money than you make. So, I think I get the money because I want to get it. I get the money I want, and you get exactly the money you want to get. It's a delusion that people get paid because of anything, because of their performance. It's a delusion. There is no such a measurement. People are not getting paid according to anything. Unfortunately, you may not like it, but fortunately, people are not getting paid equally. You're doing something, and you get money. Or not. There are people who work a lot, and they work so hard. They're even self-employed. And instead of having a lot of money, they're sitting on a pile of debt. Some people still think that being self-employed makes a lot of money. I think you work, and parallel to you get money. You get more money than others who do the same kind of work, and you get less money than other people who do the same. Performance and money don't have anything to do with each other. Again, you are doing something, and you get money. Or you don't get any money. Or you get more, or you get less. You don't get the money because of what you're doing. And don't tell me that you're getting money because you do what you don't want to do. You really do want to do what you're doing. If you wouldn't want to do what you're doing, you wouldn't do it. You would do something else. No person in the world can make you do something that you don't want to do. You do exactly what you want to do, and you get exactly the amount of money you want to get. Maybe that disturbs you. Maybe you don't like to hear it. But to complain, to keep complaining that you can't do what you want to do and that you never got what you wanted to get is very, very childish. So, let's quit whining. Let's do what we want to do, and let's tell people what we really want to get. You're right, it's not enough, just the wanting of money and just telling other people that you want money. I don't give money all the time to people who just want it from me. You don't need to give money to somebody just because he wants it. There's no law that you get money because you tell somebody you want the money. Anybody has the right to say no, or to give you less than you want, or to give you more. But if somebody gets money, he or she got it because he or she wanted it. Do you want to hear another truth about the laws of money? There is no law of money. There's no universal, there's just no law of money at all. If there would be a law of money, everyone would know exactly how to make money. You would have learned it in school, like the alphabet. You would be embarrassed not to have enough money. Parents, teachers taught you how to deal with money. But it wasn't really worth anything. There are millions of other ways to make money. You can do everything what they taught you to do, and you can fail with that. And you can do everything they taught you to do, and you can become very rich. You can do the opposite of what anybody has ever taught you, and you can become very rich. Some people try to copy millionaires, and they fail. This whole country seems to believe you could copy a successful person. It's an addiction. You are an original. Your fingertips are unique. Nobody else in the world has the same pattern. So when you want to make a copy out of your whole life, you want to live like the rich and famous, like a successful person, like another successful person, you want to live as a copy, nobody will ever get rich and famous or successful, or nobody will enjoy his life as a copy of somebody. Why? Why do you want to? Why even do you want to be successful? You are unique. The way you make money, the way you spend money is unique. That functions completely different than it functions for me. It's not easier for you to be yourself than it is for me to be me. And it's not more difficult for you to be yourself than it is for me to be me. And it is not easier and not more difficult for you to make $1 than to make $100,000. And it's not more difficult or easier for you to make money than it is for me. You make it your way, and I do it my way. When it comes to money, nobody of us is privileged. Forget about limitations. So many people cannot take money if they haven't worked hard enough for that money. They have to get tired. They even have to destroy their body for money. They give everything in order to make a couple of bucks. What do you think? How happy, how successful, how free is somebody on the evening before his heart attack? If you want to see money as an exchange for something you do, consider you having an income of, let's say, $25,000 a year. If your goal and your dream is to make $1 million a year, do you think you could work 40 times harder in order to reach that goal? Do you think you could work 40 times as much as you work now for your $25,000 a year? That's impossible. Somewhere down the line between $25,000 a year and $1 million a year, this idea of exchange has to stop. If you have to stop thinking that way, why don't you stop right now? Money is not an exchange for something you do, for a service or for a product. Money is for you. Money is made for you. You found out by now this is not the perfect tape. I didn't want to make a perfect tape. I wanted to give myself. I'm giving this tape to people, and I ask people for money. Some people even get this tape for free. Well, everyone got this tape for free, and some people gave me money. You cannot measure the value of this tape with the money you pay. The value you get with this tape is priceless anyway. You wouldn't be able to pay for the value you really get. So there's no difference in giving it to you for free or asking for the amount of money somebody asked you for while he or she was giving the tape to you. I hope you forgot about exchange by now. Can you imagine to go up to somebody and ask that person to give you a penny? And can you imagine to get this penny? Can you imagine to go to another person on the next day and ask for 2 pennies? And on the third day, asking for 4 pennies. On the fourth day, asking for 8 pennies, for 16, for 32. If you would do that for 31 days in a row, what do you think? How much money would you get on the 31st day? Well, to make it short, you would get more than $10 million on the 31st day. Where is your limit? At what point would you stop? At what point would you quit? At what point would you feel embarrassed to ask somebody for money? At what point would you feel uncomfortable to ask somebody for money? By the way, I don't ask you to beg people for money. If you do this exercise and you ask people for money, make very, very clear that you don't need that money. Begging for money means needing money, and that's unlawful. I mean, ask people for money and make extremely obvious that you don't need it, that you just want it, and that these people are free to give it to you or to simply say no and to walk away. If you don't feel free and comfortable to ask anybody for any amount of money, you don't see your own unlimited value. You still measure what you give in exchange for a certain amount of money. And you feel guilty if you don't give anything. You've got to see yourself as really, really valuable enough that you can take any amount of money just for who you are. What is the highest amount of money you have ever gotten on one particular day? Forget about the reason why you got this money. There isn't a reason anyway other than that you wanted it. So, what is the highest amount of money? Is it $8,000? $36,000, $90,000, $150,000, $2.3 million? What is it? And now please find out, did you have to work relatively a lot to get this money? If you are true to yourself, you will find out, and more than 99% of all people find out, that they haven't worked very much for that amount of money, for the biggest amount of money they have ever gotten. Most people find out they have worked very, very little for that amount, and they had a lot of fun. Well, if you can do that once, you could do that actually every day. And if not every day, you could do that weekly, you could do that monthly, even if you would do that once a year. It would help, wouldn't it? If you are able to repeat the tough days in your life, you're for sure able to repeat the easy days in your life. You can repeat anything you want to repeat. Nobody will stop you. It was not a particular situation who made the money for you. It was you who made the money. It was you and you having a particular feeling. That's what made the money. You made the money. So, hard work results in little money. Easy work and fun results into big sums of money. It takes relatively a little effort to produce big sums of money. In the moment we talk ourselves into needing of money, we focus, it's very strange, but we focus on little sums of money. And we focus on the ways how to get little sums of money together instead of doing what results into big sums of money. Little money has to do with a lot of work. Big money is fast. It's easy to make big money fast. It's bitter, very bitter, to make a little money. And for sure, to live on it. As long as you work hard, you are a slave in your own store. Money you had to work hard for is always little money. It's never enough. Even $100,000 in a year won't be enough if you had to work hard for it. Even $1 million is just a little money if you had to work hard in order to get it. If you really want to work hard, I don't want to stop you, but don't do that in order to make money. Money gets only interesting for me beyond the sum I have to work hard for. It has to be fun. It must be fun to make money. You can't stop yourself from making money if you just jump into what you can't quit, what you can't stop doing, what you can't do less because you get paid less, what you can't do more because you get paid more. If you just start doing what you can't stop doing. If you're doing what you can't stop doing, you can do any mistake. You can do anything wrong you want to do wrong. And you still won't do anything wrong. You will still succeed because you don't stop. Right and wrong stops here. Stops with you doing what you want to do. Here's a little exercise. please give daily $1 or $2 or $5 to somebody who doesn't need it, to somebody you have never met before, just to somebody you meet on the street. Why? Just find out how much fun it is to give money to somebody, that it doesn't hurt you. Just find out that it's pure joy to give money to somebody without expecting anything in exchange. And the moment you experience that, you don't believe me anymore. You have a feeling. You have a feeling for how it is to give money out of joy. And if you change your point of view, you know the feeling another person must have who gives money to you out of joy without expecting anything in exchange from you. Another little exercise. Find a toy, find something nobody needs, and buy 3 of the same kind. Buy a toy you really like to play with, you really like to have for yourself. It shouldn't cost more than $2.50. Buy something that is not unique. Buy something where you can buy any amount, any number of this, cheaper for a dozen or whatever. Buy what's fun for you. Buy what you'd like to give to others as a gift. Buy something you're willing to have with you wherever you go. If you go to a concert, if you go to the movies, if you go for a business dinner, wherever you go, just have it with you. And if somebody wants to play with it, somebody wants to look at it, show it to this person. Let the person play with that, and tell the person the price, and tell them they can buy it. Tell them the double of what you paid for this little toy. So, if you paid $2.50 for this particular thing, and somebody's interested in looking at it and wants to know how much it costs, tell that person it costs $5. Please, don't play American salesperson. Don't offer this thing to people. Don't push people into buying this thing. Just play with it yourself. Play with it, and if somebody's interested, then tell that person that he or she could buy it, but don't make a person buy this thing. Let people come after you. If they don't buy it, be happy, because you bought it in the first place, because you like that thing. Just have it with you and play with it. Period. Most money is made with things nobody needs. Most money is made with things nobody needs, or with things everyone needs all the time. So if you want to have fun, then please don't carry toilet paper around or potatoes. Then really buy a toy nobody needs. Banks tell you how generous they are by offering you 3.5% interest in a year for your money. And with this little exercise, you can find out that you can double your money within an hour. Insurance agencies, insurance company brag about doubling your money in 25 years. Oh, ridiculous. You can double your money in an hour with a little toy, with somebody nobody needs. And if you can't double it in 1 hour, if you can't sell your little toy within 1 hour, if you sell it in a day, if you sell it in a week, even if you sell it within a year after you bought it in a toy store, you are way faster in working with investments than any bank of this world. These so-called serious business people with their polyester suits, with their tasteless ties, chasing their clients. They think that they're offering decent business. But you can just play with a couple of little toys and do what you like to do, and you can double your money 100, 1,000 times faster. I don't mean that this toy should be your new financial business here, your new financial freedom. But with this activity, and really, don't stop doing it, with this little activity, you will see that a new playfulness, a new chemistry, a new playful chemistry will come into all your other deals, into all your other business deals. So many people still think that it hurts to give money to somebody else. It's stupid. To give money to somebody else is just giving money to somebody else. And to get money from somebody is getting money from somebody. It is not good, it's not bad, it doesn't hurt, it's not wonderful, it's just what it is. Giving or getting. But as long as somebody thinks that it hurts to give money to somebody, the same person will think that it hurts another person to give money to me. Out of this idea, people developed the special prices for friends. You know that somebody goes into a store of a friend and expects that he gets cheaper, where other people have to pay more for the same item. A friend comes to you and wants to buy something from you, and you think, without that you have talked about that, you think you have to make him a special price. Do you want to know something? This has nothing to do with friendship. Special prices for friends are extremely hostile. Again, these special prices for friends come out of the idea that money hurts if I have to give it to somebody. And since I don't want to hurt my friends so much, I will take a smaller amount from them than I'm willing to take from a person I've never seen before, from a stranger. That means I'm willing to hurt a stranger more than I'm willing to hurt my friends I have to see and face every day. So that means I'm willing to hurt people I haven't seen before and I probably won't see again. I'm willing to hurt these people more than I'm willing to hurt my friends. I'm willing to hurt people. I'm willing to hurt some people more than others. And again, we cross the theory that money is extremely harmful, that it's harmful to take money from somebody. People kill for money and people are getting killed for money, not for much money. It is done for very, very little money. What does it mean now when I tell my best friend, I don't want to hurt you that much, but I will let this stranger pay for that? For once, this is discrimination and a very heavy threat against another person. Our friendship is a threat against other people because I have to keep myself separate from as many people as possible as long as I have you as a friend. Our friendship is, on the other hand, very expensive, and I wouldn't like to have too many friends like that, because how should I make my living if I have to make it so cheap for everybody? It would be dangerous for my business to have more friends. You know it, and we have read it over and over again, that in times of war, it is so much easier for a person to push a little red button and to kill 100,000 people with that. This person who pushes the button is never seen and will never see, will never know, has never known. So it's easier to push that little button than to kill a person with your own hands. That is exactly what's behind special prices for friends. A scale where I know I'm willing to hurt a person that much. When I know that person, I'm willing to hurt a person a little more if I don't know that person, and I'm willing to hurt a person even more if I will never meet that person. And we will come to the end of this scale where we know, if we are not completely numb, where we know we will stop taking money because we are not willing to hurt other people that much anymore. We must give up the idea that money hurts. In that moment, where I know people give what they want to give and it doesn't hurt them, in that moment, I'm not feeling that I hurt my friends when I take exactly the same price I take from anybody else. I don't discriminate against strangers anymore, and I'm not a threat anymore if I can take exactly what I want from any person in the world. My friends are not a threat to my business anymore, and I'm willing to make more and more people friends. So I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid that somebody I just see for the first time becomes my friend. I can expect from any customer who comes, from any client who comes into my store, that he will come or that she will come again and again and again. Imagine you are a car salesperson and a client comes into the showroom and is looking at a car. So many salespeople think that that person is about to buy one car. It's so limited. It's so stupid. If a person you have never seen comes into a car dealership, you can consider that this person will buy cars in a value of $500,000 in that very dealership if you can satisfy this person again and again and again. But if you want to make your little deal today and cheat that person later and hurt that person with this business, and you're planning to never see this person again, yes, then it will only be one car this person will buy, if the person will buy that one car at all. If money should be unlimited for you, you have to make the right decisions now. And the most important one is, in this moment, money is harmless. Back to the special prices for friends. If I buy something from a friend, it's so much more worth for me. It's so much more special for me if I bought it from a friend. Why am I not willing to give more to a friend? Hey, start giving double the money to your friends than you're willing to somebody else. Start treating people as human beings. Don't make a difference between friends and strangers and relatives, people you've seen before, people you haven't seen before, males and females. Just cut the crap. The same threat and the same discrimination is in the idea, buy only American. I've heard that in Germany before. Buy only German cars. It is stupid. It is just stupid. As if there weren't other people in the world. As if Japanese people weren't people yet. By the way, American people do make maintenance on Japanese cars. They change oil on Japanese cars. American people even build Japanese cars. This kind of thinking is a threat against other people's lives. As if Italian people, French people, English people, German, Scandinavian people who build cars weren't people yet. That is crazy. That is crazy and extremely hostile. Business, any business deal, has to be so free, so easy, so playful. You have to come out of your heart for any business deal with any person, whether you have seen that person before or it's your best friend. And if you're that free, well, you can start to doubt any price. Nothing has a certain price. The way people sell things today will become extinct. Dress for success is totally outdated. People who think they have to dress in a certain way in order to sell something. They have to wear something they don't want to wear in order to sell something. They do nothing else but a different kind of prostitution. I like to wear a tuxedo, I like to wear ties and suits and jeans, but I like to wear what I want to wear when I want to wear it. I don't do that in order to sell something. People drive cars in order to have certain results with other people, or they don't drive a particular car because they're afraid about the reaction of their clients. That is really strange. Business is so much easier. It's so much easier for you to get clients and to keep your clients and to work with them without any prostitution. Prostitution is a limitation for your enjoyment and especially for your income. No money in the world can compensate a lack of enjoyment while you make your money. I only want to make business. I only want to deal with people who want to deal with me and not with my suit. Another little exercise. Clean your apartment, clean your house. Throw out everything that doesn't inspire you anymore. Just go through your whole apartment. Look at everything, take everything into your hands. Books, pictures on the wall, and you're afraid to take the wall off the wall because you're afraid of the light spot behind the pictures. Take them out of your house. Just throw everything away. Put it into the flea market or make a rummage or a garage sale. But just away out of your house with all that stuff that doesn't inspire you anymore, that you don't enjoy anymore. All the clothes, you're not really excited about wearing them, but you wear them because they're there. Just throw them out. Put them into the garbage can. It's better than keeping them. Are you collecting magazines or stamps or anything else? You get stuck with all that stuff. Throw it out. People used to be collectors and hunters a couple of million years ago. That is outdated. We grew out of that time. So quit collecting anything. Throw it away. Another exercise. You need a new body feeling for a new feeling for money. What's all the money in the world worth for you if you're stiff and stern with your body? You need to move yourself. Try something new. Do things you have never done before. So try rollerblades or yoga or bodybuilding. Start running, play tennis. Do anything. Try new things you have never done and see what comes out of it. Money will be so much more enjoyable for you. So many people don't like their job. They hate what they're doing. And everyone who doesn't like what he is doing does a bad job. Everyone who doesn't like what he's doing or what she's doing is sabotaging what that person is doing. If you don't like your job, you're looking forward to the weekend, you're looking forward to retirement, and you will always feel underpaid. I think people who feel underpaid are overpaid. Nobody should give them any money. They should be, thrown out. People who don't like their job have to be motivated all day long. And I think motivation is just for people who don't like their lives, who don't like what they're doing, who don't like anything. People who do like what they're doing, they don't have to be motivated. They won't stop anyway. Do you think Picasso had to be motivated to paint? Do you think Picasso could have done what he did by hating what he did? If you want to give your best, you need to do what you're best at. And you need to do what you really love to do. Since it's you will have a 24-hour job then, but you will not be drained. You will not feel that that is a hard job. It's so much more fun. Change your point of view. Everything you think that costs money, everything that costs money, you can have for free. And everything that usually costs money can bring you money. If you go into the mall and you look for a camera, for example, and you think the camera is very expensive and it will cost you a lot, you know that the store owner who sells this camera makes money in the same time while somebody else buys it. Just he has a different perspective. So, you have the choice of your perspective concerning any item, concerning any service that's available on the planet. You choose whether this thing, this service, costs you money or whether you make money with that. Do you think a higher income will be better than the income you have right now? Do you think $2,000 a month are better than $1,000? Look into your past, and then you will know that once you will have the $2,000 income, you know that you think, $4,000 will be better than $2,000. But you know too that everything grows with that income. You will again and again look forward to an income you don't have. And you will complain about the income you have, whether that is high, relatively high or not. Even with $10,000, even with $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a month, you will look forward to a higher income that will be so much nicer than the income you have today. If you motivate yourself to reach a greater goal with being unsatisfied, with your frustration, I assure you, you may reach greater goals, but you will be as unsatisfied as you are today. In the next bigger goal, you have to build in the possibility to make it bad, to complain about it, to bitch and whine about it once you have reached it. People who count the hours they work, they think that earning money is a linear process, that their income will grow from 1,000 to 2,000, from 2,000 to 4,000, from 4,000 to 8,000, from 8,000 to $12,000 a month. That's not how money works. You can go from an income of $1,000 to an income of $40,000 a month. That is as easy as to go from $1,000 a month to $2,000 a month, or to drop from $1,000 a month to zero. Money doesn't work in a linear way. And quit counting your hours, and quit relating money to your hours, and quit relating money to the items you sell, or to the hours of service. If you really want to have an unlimited income, you need to start now to see yourself so unlimited that you go from wherever you are to wherever you want to go. And being unsatisfied will not motivate you to reach a greater goal. You need to be so happy and so satisfied where you are right now, then you will be as happy as you are right now when you reach any of your goals. But you will not need to reach these goals in order to be happy. You will not try to make this stupid little deal with the universe or whomever you want to make this deal with. You don't need wherever you want to go, and that's why you can get it and why you can reach that a lot easier. We have desires, and we connect our desires with the idea that we have to realize our desire, and then the world would be so wonderful. For example, if I could double my money, I would be a much happier person, the world would be so much more wonderful, and I would be as free as I want to be. Everyone knows that it doesn't work that way with wishes. Whenever you have felt that way, so you have a wish, and you thought after realizing that, after getting what you wanted to get, you would be a lot happier. You found out that what you wanted was absolutely uninteresting a couple of weeks after you got it. And you were so bored that you wanted something else. It is a drug. It is an addiction to think that you will be more satisfied after you realize more of your dreams. What I know is that your addiction will be bigger after the realization of the next dream if you think that next wish will make you happier after you got what you wanted. You either want more and more and more, or you're so frustrated that you don't want to think about wishes at all anymore. You just want to stop. You just do what you do. You numb yourself, and you're not interested in having greater goals, in wanting to reach them. You're not interested at all in anything else. What is it what you want? What is satisfaction for you? What is it what you actually want? What would really make you happy? Things cannot do that. Things will never satisfy you. Whatever you want, whatever your dream is, you cannot have things, you cannot buy more, you cannot work more to be happier, you cannot make more money in order to be happy, you cannot do anything in order to be a happier person. It doesn't work. More and more and more of anything will not give you more and more and more of satisfaction. It just doesn't work that way, and you know that. Anything you really want to have, anything you really want to experience, anything you really want to feel, you can only give that to yourself. You can only make yourself happy. Nobody else can do that. And anything else, all the other feelings, everything you can ever want, you can only have from other people. And you get that for free. Well, it doesn't have any cost. You get that for free, or you don't get it at all. If you are that free and happy person, things are wonderful. They cannot disturb you in that. They will not take anything away from that. They will not make you unhappy. Money will not take happiness away from you. And since you don't need money in order to reach a certain feeling, and you know that wouldn't work anyway, since you don't need money in order to abuse it, to get something you can't get with money, since you don't need that money anymore, you can get it so much easier. You can realize any dream, any wish, any desire so much easier without this mystery that the realization of any wish should bring you something, what the realization of a certain desire can't bring you at all. In the moment you are satisfied, you don't expect anything in things anymore that isn't there. Money is just money. It's just ink on paper, period. The strange expectation that ink on paper could make you happy is just not there anymore. You are happy. You don't expect miracles anymore from ink on paper. You are a completely free person when you know so deeply that things are just things. Have as many desires as you want to. Realize all of them. Realize all of your dreams. You cannot blame it on cars that you want to be happy. The idea of wanting to be free has nothing to do with money. Money didn't invent the idea that money is supposed to make people happy. Money didn't invent anything. Money did never anything. Money doesn't anything. Money is not active at all. You are active and you can do with money whatever you want, but money doesn't do shit for you. Money doesn't screw up your character, and money doesn't corrupt people, and money doesn't have anything to do with power either. You are greater than money is, and you're greater than power. You're not a victim of the powerful people who have money in your eyes. You are greater than any power. Please make mistakes with money. There aren't any. You know there's no law of money. There are no rules of how to use it and how to deal with money. So you can't do anything wrong anyway. And you can't do anything right. So please make mistakes. Just get a very, very relaxed relationship with money. I have another little exercise for you. Please find out what you can't do. So just make a series of sentences and tell yourself, I can't do this, I can't do that. What is what you can't do, but what you actually would like to do? Next, tell yourself, I don't have time. I don't have time to just work for 10 months a year and to have holidays of 2 months. I don't have time to exercise an hour every day. I don't have time for this, I don't have time for that. And last but not least, I don't have money. I can't afford this, I can't afford that, I can't afford to live in my own house, I cannot afford a new car, I cannot afford, I don't have money, I don't have money, I don't have money. You know something? All of these sentences don't mean anything else but you don't want to. You can replace that I can't, or that I don't have time, or I don't have money with I don't want to. That may make you mad, but that's the way it is. Because everything you really wanted, you have gotten. You have gotten everything you really wanted. There's a little problem with what you want. The problem is not whether you get what you want. The problem is that you always get what you want. You're greater than time. People have invented time and the measurement of time. You wrote your calendar, so you're the only one who can change it. Every person in the world has 24 hours a day. So it's your choice how you use them. I don't have time just means I don't take any responsibility about my time. I can't. It's not my time. If it's not yours, who is responsible for you doing what you want to do in time? I'm asking you to take full responsibility for what you can do, for what you want to do, for your time, and for the money. As long as you have reasons why you can't have something what you actually want to have, you won't have it, because the reasons will be greater than you, not because they are greater, but you make them greater than you know you are. And the moment you see and you feel yourself greater than any of these reasons, they're not there anymore. That, what you really want, is not subject to thoughts, calculations, reasons, expectations, whether they are positive or negative, as long as you think you don't want it. So forget it and focus on something else. I believe there is no pro and contra for the things you want. You either want them and you quit thinking radically, or you keep thinking and you will never have them. If you really know what you want, you become blind for everything else. By the way, there's nothing that costs money. Did you know that? Only your decisions cost money, or your decisions bring money for you. Nothing costs money. Just what you decide costs you something or makes money. Everything else is for free. So now let's make some money. Write down, what did you enjoy the most? What activity do you enjoy the most? Is there something you have done as a kid and you are still doing it and enjoy it? What do you dream about that you have never done but you always wanted to do it? What is there what you're doing all the time and you never take money for that, but you could ask for money? What activity has made the most money for you? What kind of activity has made consistently money for you? What activity has made the fastest money for you? What are you doing already, what you would never ever quit? I ask you to make this little exercise every day, or a couple of times a day even. Start your day with that, and then choose one out of all of the different ideas you had, and find 10 new money sources for this idea. How can you make this? How can you turn this into 10 money sources? Believe it or not, there are unlimited money sources for any activity you can ever think of. You are doing already so many things that are so valuable for so many people that you don't have to worry to make as much money as you want to. Don't work for money anymore, but don't work for free either. You don't have enough yet? Okay, make some other exercises. Have a $50 or $100 or $200 idea every day. Have every day a $50 idea and turn it into money. Or you can start with $10 if 50 is too much. Have a $10 idea, turn it into money. Not with work, but just the idea into money. Do it and do another one the next day. And go on with that. Practice a little and enjoy. Most important thing, enjoy.